Hey everyone, welcome back to Beyond Code Path. Today, we're starting our very first step into the world of web development. If you've always wanted to build websites but didn't know where to begin, this is the perfect place to start. I will walk through the basics of HTML and CSS, the two core building blocks of every website in the world. So let's get started with the foundation. HTML. What is HTML? HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. This is the language we use to create the structure of a web page. Think of HTML like the skeleton of a human body. Just like bones give shape and structure, HTML gives structure to the content on a web page. HTML is used for things like headings, paragraphs, images, buttons, links, sections, forms. Every web page you've ever visited started with HTML. Creating your first HTML file. Let's create our very first HTML page. 10. Open your code editor, VS Code is a great choice, and create a new file named index.html. Now type this basic structure. My first website. Welcome to web development. This is my first web page. This might look like a lot, but it's very simple. Tells the browser this is an HTML5 document is the main container contains the title and metadata holds everything you actually see on the page is a heading is a paragraph. Save the file and open it in the browser. Congratulations, you've just created your first web page. Understanding basic HTML tags. Let's quickly explore some important HTML tags you'll use all the time. Headings. There are 6 levels of headings in HTML: main heading sub, heading small, heading paragraph. This is a simple paragraph. Link visit. Google image. The alt text is important because search engines and screen readers use it. Lists unordered. List, HTML CSS ordered. List, step 1, step 2, button click. Me. These simple tags are enough to build a basic web page layout. What is CSS? Now that you understand HTML, let's talk about CSS. CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheets, and it is used to style your web page, meaning everything related to design comes from CSS. CSS controls colors, fonts, layouts, sizes, spacing, animations, positioning. Think of CSS as the clothes and looks of your website. Adding CSS to HTML. CSS can be added in 3 ways. Inline CSS directly inside an HTML tag. Hello, this is quick but not recommended for big projects. Internal CSS inside the section. External CSS separate file called style.ces. This is the best practice. Let's create a simple design to see how CSS works. CSS Basics Selectors. In CSS, we select elements using selectors. Element selector H1, shown color, green. Class selector, .title, shown font size, 24 pixels, shown ID selector number main, shown background color, yellow. You'll mainly use class selectors because they are flexible and reusable. Building a mini project. Let's build a small landing page using both HTML and CSS. Here's the full code. Mini website. Welcome to my website. Learning HTML and CSS is easier than you think. Get started. With just this much code, you created a clean, simple mini web page. This is exactly how real websites are built. HTML for structure, CSS for design. Outro. And that wraps up your first step in web development. In this video, you learned what HTML is, what CSS is, how to write basic code, how to style a web page, and how to build a simple project. Colors in CSS. In CSS, we can apply colors in multiple ways, using color names. For example, color red, color blue, color green, using hex codes. This is the most common format. Color 333, color F00, using RGB useful when you want dynamic colors. Color RGB 255, 0, using RGBA. The A stands for alpha, which is the transparency of the color for alpha, which controls transparency. Color RGBA 0.5. These formats help designers create beautiful color combinations on websites. Backgrounds in CSS. CSS also gives us full control over backgrounds. Background color, #F2, F2, F2. Background image, URL, banner, JPG, background size, cover, background repeat, no repeat, gradient. Background. You can even create your webpage visually appealing and modern. Borders. Borders define the edges of an element you can control. Border width, 2 pixels. Border color, black. Border style, solid. Border radius used for rounded corners. Border radius, 10 pixels. Combined example. Border, 2 pixels, solid black. Border radius, 8 pixels. Borders are used in buttons, cards, images, and almost every UI component. The CSS box model. One of the most important concepts in CSS is the box model. Every element in HTML is seen as a box, and it has 4 layers. Content, the actual text or image inside the box. Padding space between content and border. Border, the outline around the element. Margin space outside the border. It pushes elements away from each other. Example, div, margin, 20 pixels, padding, 15 pixels, border, 2 pixels solid. Number 333. Understanding the box model helps you control spacing and layout perfectly. Display property. CSS has different display types that change how elements behave on the page. Block elements. Start from a new line and take full width. Examples. Div, H1, P display, block. Inline elements. Do not start from a new line. Examples. Span, a display. Inline block, a mix of both. You can set width, height, but it doesn't break the line. Display, inline block. None hides an element completely. Display, none. Knowing display types is important for layout design. Styling images. Images can also be styled using CSS. Width and height. Width, 300 pixels. Height, auto. Rounded images. Border radius, 50%. Fit image. Properly object fit. Cover. This helps in creating profile pictures, banners, thumbnails, and much more. If you found this helpful, make sure to hit the like button. And don't forget to subscribe, because in the next video, we'll learn about CSS layout, flexbox, and responsive design, which is where websites start getting interesting. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.